Bill Gregory has come in for Jethro Pugh in the Cowboys front four. He's number 77, probably, for pass rush on 3rd and 9. Duhan. Inside the 20-yard line is Bobby Duhan.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video, and welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you could maybe give this video a thumbs up, or possibly leave a comment below, or maybe share this video, it would mean just so much to me. But please, thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Oh. All right, well, Monday night, baby, tonight, right? Giants, Chiefs. We got the two out of our next 3 games. I don't know who picked. I don't know who the schedule maker is, but 2 out of our next 3 are Monday night on the road against defending Super Bowl champion. Against the last 2 defending Super Bowl champions, and against the last 2 teams that were in last year's Super Bowl. And of course the Giants got them, and they're both on the road. The only one little bright spot of all is that Giants got to play Kansas City, then they come home to play the Raiders, then they got a bye week, and they got a week they can rest up, and hopefully we can get some guys back. You know, like hoping maybe Andrew Thomas be huge. I mean, maybe we get Saquon back. Wouldn't it be just so lovely? Get Kenny Golladay. I know Kenny. As soon as we put Kenny Golladay in, I know the first drive he's going to hurt something, and he'll be on the injury list the following week. But just to have him maybe in for one drive where maybe he's not hurt. I mean, that would be just wonderful, wouldn't it? I mean, have Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard, Kadarius Toney, Evan. I dropped the ball again. Ingram and Saquon Barkley. I mean. Oh, then again, that's if we don't trade Evan Ingram. But, I mean, wouldn't it be just unbelievable just to have those guys on the field at the same time? And Andrew Thomas protecting Daniel Jones' blind side. Wouldn't it be just nice to see what they could do? Well, both teams tonight, they're banged up. Okay, so, you know, the Giants, you know, they got their injuries, but the Chiefs got their injuries as well, too. They're a little bit different. I mean, the Giants, obviously, you know, they're all, you know, we know who's banged up. Then they got a lot of their stars, you know. Still hoping Shepard can play. Kadarius Toney, we're hoping those guys can play. You know, Galladay's out, Saquon's out. So the Chiefs aren't like that. It's not Tyreek Hill's not out. Edwards-Helaire isn't out. Travis Kelce's not out. It would be nice, but you know. But they got some injuries on the defense. So both teams are kind of banged up. Okay. So I hate saying this, but the Giants got a chance. You know, they got a chance. Any given Sunday or any given Monday, right? They got a chance. Now the Chiefs, they're not off to a very good start. They're 3-4. They're not very Chief-like so far, right? They've already lost. You know, as I just said, they've already lost 4 games so far this season, right? 2018, they've lost 4 games all year. 2019, they lost 4 games all year. Last year, 2020, they lost 2 games, right? So they've already lost as many games as they did in 2018 and 2019. They've lost in 7 games. They've already lost twice as many games as they did all last year. So things aren't, you know, all rosy in Kansas City, right? Now, one of the biggest things, there's like 2 things, you know, a couple things, right? But one is their defense. At the video I did yesterday with talking about Saquon's out and Kenny Galladay's out, I went over a bunch of stats at the Chiefs on their defense. You know, they're bad. Okay. Hopefully it's not like it's not like, you know, they look like the steel curtain against the Giants tonight, you know. But, you know, they've given up at least 27 points, 6 out of the 7 games that they played this year. They're averaging 29 points a game. They're almost giving up 30 points a game. I mean, really bad. They have only 8 sacks all year. They're tied for the worst. And, all right, so they can't get pressure. All right. They're number 29 in yards allowed with 2,832 yards. They're giving up over 400 yards a game. All right. That's, that's pretty bad. Okay. And you got to consider also is that it's, once again, it's like this theory, stuff's all relative. They got a good offense. Okay. So their offense is on the field moving the ball. Okay. So when they're not, unlike the Giants' offense, like maybe from last year, I mean, the Giants' offense would go 1, 2, 3 punt, and the defense would be back on the field. So that if the defense is on the field for a long time and the offense can't move the ball, the defense just gets more and more tired. But I mean, it's kind of like different, like with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a very good offense, so they're on the field, and then when their defense just comes on the field, it's just a shambles. Steve Spagnuolo is, he's had a brutal season. This might be his last year with the Chiefs. They're number 32, their defense overall. Absolute worst in the league. They give up 6.6 yards per play. Basically, every 2 plays, they give up like 13 yards. I mean, basically, every 3 plays, they give up like 20 yards. I mean, it's wow. They're horrible. They're tied, I guess, the 8th worst from with they only have 7 takeaways. They have 5 interceptions, but they only have 2 fumble recoveries. All right, so they're not like ball hawks. Okay, they average taking the ball away like 1 time a game. All right, if you compare that with like some of the other teams have like a lot more than what the Chiefs have. All right, they're number 27th overall. They've given up 165 first downs given up. So basically they're giving up 24 first downs a game. I mean, not very good. They're giving up 67.8% completion percentage. All right, very bad. They've given up, they're number 21. They've given up 13 passing touchdowns. So basically they're giving up like 2 passing touchdowns per game. All right, but if you couple that up with the amount of rushing touchdowns they've given up, they're number 30 in rushing touchdowns. They've given up 10 rushing touchdowns. So between the passing and the rushing touchdowns, right, they've given up 23 touchdowns in just the 7 games. So they're giving up over 3 touchdowns a game. Not to mention, field goals and stuff like that, right? So the quarterback rating, they're number 26 overall. They're giving up the quarterback rating is 104.0. I mean, brutal. They're number 25 in rushing yards allowed. They've given up 902 rushing yards. They're tied for 27th, giving up 4.7 yards a carry. Okay, and they're number 27, giving up 128.9 yards per game on the ground. All right, so they give up, they give up a lot of yards on the ground, and they give up yards in the air as well too. They're number 28. They're giving up 1,930 passing yards. I mean, they're giving up like about 275 yards a game in the air. And then it's at 128 yards on the ground. They're giving up over 400 yards, a game. I mean, that's horrible, absolutely horrible. And they're tied for 29. Overall, they're giving up 203 points, all right? And their defense is just bad, And if the Giants can, not beat themselves, stupid penalties, and I'm here talking about the Chiefs have a hard time getting pressure and all and everything, which they can't, you just don't want them where they want them getting, sacked, tonight, right? And Daniel Jones is sacked, fumbled, they pick the ball up, maybe run it back for a touchdown, or Daniel Jones pressured and throws a couple stupid interceptions. If they can, not turn the ball over. I know I'm asking for a lot. I know, and keep the penalties down to a minimum. They especially if we can get like Shepard or Tony or both those guys back, that would be huge. Huge. I mean, because like last week we had David Sills and Dante Pettis and Colin Johnson running around out there. I mean, how many games are you going to win? Consistently with those guys running around out there for him. Not many. So, I mean, the Giants, they got a shot as long as they don't beat themselves. Now, after the 27-3 last week, the loss, the Chiefs to the Titans. Okay, Patrick Mahomes had an all-time low quarterback rating of 6. All right, I mean, it's hard to get to single digits. It's hard. He did it. Okay, that was his all-time worst. All right, now he's thrown one interception in at least the last 6 games, and he has 9 so far this season. All right, he had 6 interceptions all last year, 2020. 2019, he had 5 interceptions. All right, so he's almost, he's surpassed. He's almost thrown as many interceptions this year as in half the season as he did in 2020, 2019 combined. Okay, so he's having, all right, he's not doing too well. The Chiefs have 17 turnovers so far. Right, they've lost 8 fumbles, 9 interceptions. All right, and that is by far going into this weekend. I think the Jets were the second worst. They had 12. Okay, the Chiefs have 17. Right, by far the worst. Absolutely horrible. Now their that we gotta also realize too. Okay, it is the Chiefs. All right, they're number 10. Okay, with 827 rushing yards. So they got all that passing firepower, but they're also decent at running the ball too. They're number 5. Okay, with their 2,108 passing yards. All right, they're number 2 in total yards overall with 2,935. They're number 2, all right. So they can move the ball. They're number 8 in scoring. They've scored 188 points. Okay. Their problem, okay, is they just self-destruct. Okay. Their offense is the 11th worst in penalties with 44. Their offense, they've committed 44 accepted penalties on offense so far. It's 11th worst, all right, in the NFL. And by far they are the worst in the NFL with a turnover percentage of 24.2. What that means is basically 24.2%. 1 out of every 4 drives that they have winds up in a turnover. I mean, that is unbelievably pathetic. Really, really horrible. Now, one of the things is I was reading is that their offensive line, is having a hard time, protecting. And a lot of times, like Patrick Mahomes just runs around and just tries to create things, makes things happen. Well, apparently at least 5 of his 9 interceptions were on plays such as that, where he was trying to extend the play. He had pressure, maybe he's running out of a pocket or something like that. He was just trying to make things happen. He throws the ball, and it winds up getting picked off. There was one it was at the end of the first half against the Washington football team. Oh my goodness, he was getting hit, and I think he just threw it up. The ball was flipping up in the air. He just threw it just to try to make something happen. And I got picked up. It was just unbelievable. They have success running the ball. They're averaging almost 5 yards a carry running the ball. But one of the things I was also reading was that Andy Reid, don't like to run. We got to throw the ball. So Andy Reid can't. Quarterback get the ball, turn around. He can't stand doing this. Next play, get the ball, doing this. Get the ball, doing. Andy Reid can't stand that. Oh, we're averaging 6, 7, 8 yards a run. Guess it's time to start passing. So that's part of the problem is Andy Reid. Okay, when you got something good and you can run the ball. Okay. Another one of the things I said is Patrick Mahomes making stupid plays, stupid decisions. Okay, just trying to extend plays when plays should be dead and over. He's trying to extend them and make things happen. And sometimes they work, and you look like the greatest quarterback of all times, and other times they don't. I read that last year when the Raiders wound up beating the Chiefs in Kansas City. And what they were doing was they put 3 guys, they rushed 3 guys. They had a spy, okay? Somebody spying Patrick Mahomes in case he got out of the pocket or decided to run or whatever like that. The spy would, got him covered. But they would drop 2 safeties deep, okay? and they would make, Patrick Mahomes have to, throw the short stuff and work his way down the field. Patrick likes to throw the ball long, so they don't have that one-on-one coverage. They got the two high safeties, all right, keeping everything in front. He's got to check it down, all right. If you got the the man-on-man coverage, that's when Tyreek Hill just runs right past you, burns you, or you got one guy on Travis Kelce, and of course, not many people can cover Travis Kelce one-on-ones, and he just picks you apart, Patrick Mahomes. But if you got, which a lot of what the Giants have been doing is because they're passing completion, their defense is not doing very good, but they give them a lot of cushion, but they keep the stuff in front of them. They complete the pass. They complete like 3 out of every 4 passes, but they come up and they make the tackle, and they make you walk your way down the field. The Giants haven't given up too many long passes. A lot of the stuff is short. I mean, so the guy's quarterback on the other team winds up completing like 75% of his passes, but a lot of them are short. They dump it down. Giants come up and make the tackle. Now, a lot of that's what the teams are making the Chiefs starting to do. And hopefully maybe Patrick Graham is seeing this, and, kind of, maybe the light bulbs go off, It's like what other teams have been doing, because they're making the Chiefs work their way down the field, Patrick Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill, they kill the Eagles with some long passes. That's why they put up over 40 points against the Eagles. But, if you make them, check it down, short stuff and work, have to be a 10, 12, 13 play drive or whatever down the field to score a touchdown or kick a field goal. And when they wind up, 1 out of every 4, it winds up turning into possessions turns into a turnover. That's where you start having some problems, okay? But, so let's keep things in perspective. The Giants defense certainly struggled from time to time. Obviously, the Chiefs, they can certainly move the ball, but the Giants have to make it where, the Chiefs can work their way down the field, long drives, and hopefully the Giants can certainly come up with some turnovers as well, all right? Now make them drive the length of the field, all right? And, Hill and Kelce, they're going to get their catches, probably pretty much regardless, right? Especially if you're not doing one-on-one, you know what I mean? Now I think Hill has over 50 receptions. Travis Kelce, I think, has 45 in 7 games. So they're going to get their catches, all right. But don't give up any home run balls. Don't let Tyreek Hill, just blow by, blow by the Bradbury, blow by the safeties, and he, catches a 70, 80-yard pass for a touchdown. Make him drive down the field, And also, let's not forget, Patrick Mahomes got a little banged up last week, all right? And he went for a concussion, he passed everything's okay, but, he did get a little banged up, okay? So if the Giants get in there, I know I'm talking about the Giants actually getting pressure on a quarterback. They did good last week, but that was only 1 game out of 7, okay? But, the Kansas City Chiefs, their offensive line has had a hard time, okay, protecting Patrick Mahomes and also make it where he doesn't get pressure. The other team's defense is getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes. So the Giants have to, you can't blitz them, because if you start blitzing them, you're going to start leaving one-on-one coverage. All right, so you gotta get pressure with the 3 or 4 guys you send. Drop the 7 guys in coverage, okay. But if you get a chance, get some hits on him. All right, he got banged up last week. Keep banging him up. All right. Keep getting stuff inside his head, all right? So, if the Giants, I'd have a hard time believing the Chiefs won't score at least 27 points. If the Giants can get some weapons back, I'm sure the Giants, and if the Giants can get some weapons back, and if the Giants don't shoot themselves in the foot by, with a bunch of turnovers and stuff like that and all that, right? I don't see any reason why the Giants can't score at least 20-something points, If they want to give 40 points to the Chiefs, I don't think the Giants have a chance. But, if they can keep the Chiefs, 24 to 34 points, the Giants just might have a chance, And also, let's not forget, okay, the Chicago Bears, all right, they lost again. Good old Jimmy G, right? And the 49ers beat them 33 to 22, all right? So now now the Bears, they're 3-5. So now their first round selection that the Giants got, that we got next year, just got a little bit better. And not only that, the Bears are 3-5, but 4 of the next 5 games they got to play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Okay, it's going to be a tough one because the Bears don't have a great offense. The Steelers got a real good defense, so that's going to be a tough one. Then the Bears got to play the Ravens. Then they got to play I think they got to play the Lions, so that might be a win. But then they got to play the Cardinals, and they got to play the Packers. So there's a possibility that the Bears can go from 3-5 to, what would that be, 4-9 after 13 games, and then we got a game against them as well too. So there's a possibility. I mean, the way the Bears are looking, that we might wind up with the top 10 pick from the Bears, and we can certainly use that. But the game tonight, as I said, the Chiefs are banged up. We're banged up. If we can get Tony and Shepard back on the field, and if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, okay, there's a lot of ifs here, And if we make the Chiefs drive the length of the field, okay, without giving up any really big home run balls, get some pressure on Patrick Mahomes. The way they've been doing it, the Chiefs have been giving up some turnovers. We could certainly use some turnovers, right? We got a shot. Okay, I'm not guaranteeing a victory. I'm not going to say the Giants are going to win, but we got a shot. So as banged up as the Giants are, the Giants going on the road and they got a shot. I guess you can't be too pissed off about that. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!